I'm not alone in this world, as I thought I am. 10 years later, I'm now pop-pop to four little grands. Damn, see how fast time flies? Sober eyes made it so easy to see the lies. My living fam are the surrogates I was blinded by ungratefulness. Took understanding tragedies to figure out what made me tick. Sick to my stomach, was it nausea? Or was the shedding of my skin to replace the truly faulty one? Yes, my friends. Yes, it's me. It's me. Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. This week is the long-awaited return. Matter of fact, I think it's almost been a year since I've had my guest that I'm going to have on this week. I told you last episode that I made my way to Nutley, New Jersey, to the Nuthouse itself, to witness history in the making, to witness a new IWA Heavyweight Champion be crowned. And that champion that was crowned was former, not one, but two-time guest, and he's going to be making his third appearance on the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, and that was Larry Anderson. Yes, Larry Anderson will be the guest this week, and we have a whole myriad of topics we're going to talk about. But first and foremost, I am going to talk directly to him about what happened in the Nuthouse last week, the future of this new era of IWA, this upcoming event in which he's about to have a rematch with a certain someone that he took a piece of gold from. And of course, since I have him on the pod, I'm going to have him talk about, or I'm going to get his thoughts on all things WWE Unreal from Netflix, this past weekend's Royal Rumble, and a situation in which he actually might be the perfect person to talk to about Roman Reigns' critiques on the product of WWE the last 2 years as being the man taking a step back and seeing, well, nobody stepped up in my place. Shoot, maybe it's time for the king to return and reclaim the throne. All things wrestling. Yes, that's right, Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach. All things wrestling is on tap this week. I know the reason I say that is because Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach, he is not a wrestling fan. He is not a basketball fan. He's a baseball fan and he's a football fan. So when neither one of those topics are broached, as much as supportive as he is, he says, Mike, I ain't rocking with the podcast this week. And he wasn't going to rock with it last week. And I'm like, whoa. That's why there's chapters. You go to the chapter that you like to see. You go to the chapter you like to hear. So if you would have just dismissed all my basketball talk, if you would have dismissed all my wrestling talk, then you would have deprived yourself from Mike Steph's thoughts on old school dating, which I dare say is some classic material that I had. I'm sorry. To say the stuff that I said and keep it within the lines of decency, I swear only Mike Steph can do the impossible. All things are impossible! Or was it all things possible? I don't remember. Either way, I'm going to get this show on the road. Returning, like I said, returning for the third time, Larry Anderson will be the host. So, with all that being said, let's get this show underway. Huh? Yeah, I said good night. Mwah! And goodbye. Bang. Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music mixed for living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph bacon in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best in the world of what I do. All y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world of what he does. Tap in. Yes. Did I not tell you that I was going to have three-time champion of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, and also the new IWA heavyweight champion, Larry Anderson. Yeah. Larry, thank you for gracing us with your presence once again. How's everything? Let us know how you're feeling.
I'm feeling great. I remember my first time I was on the podcast, I was an explosive champion. Second time I was on the podcast, I lost that belt. But now you're looking at the man that's on the king of the mountain. You're looking at the IWA heavyweight champion of the world. Mike Steph, it's always a pleasure, brother. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I'm going to get right to the questions that I have, so we can start moseying this thing along. And I'm quite sure, knowing me, there'll probably be other questions that I pop in my head, and we could just start.
You know like us. What? We go past the time limit, so we're good.
Oh yeah, we do marathons over here. We do Broadway. First and foremost was, because I know your inspiration. Well, you've told me in the past that your inspiration, that one of your favorite wrestlers growing up was the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So, absolutely. In that vein, was winning the IWA Heavyweight Championship your childhood dream?
Yes. To be a heavyweight champion, I mean, anybody who gets into professional wrestling, it's always their dream to be the champion, the heavyweight champion, or a champion of any sort. It's also a blessing beyond belief because, not many get that opportunity. Not everybody gets to say they've been a champion of any division. I credit that to hard work and, believability. And if I'm quoting the GOAT, one of my GOATs, Shawn Michaels, and a boyhood dream, it always been a boyhood dream of mine to, make everybody back home proud that I've won the heavyweight championship of the world. Yeah.
Now, as you mentioned, last time you were on the show, matter of fact, the first time
you were good on me too. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's sitting right. That's sitting pretty. The first time you was on the show, you was the explosive champion.
Yes.
And then the second time, I remember I was like, yeah, something's missing. You was like, yeah, but not for long.
I was a little light the second time, and I guess I put on some muscle and got the heavyweight belt.
Exactly. So, with everything, was everything that happened from the time that you lost the explosive championship leading to this moment? And if so, in your words, how did they come to fruition?
I set the bar. I mean, for me, like, this is me talking. I wanted to set the bar high for that explosive division championship. It was I was the inaugural first ever, and I wanted that belt to hang with the other belts that had already been there. I didn't want that explosive title to be like, oh, it's just another title. It's a workhorse title. And I went against 4 other people every show. For in my entire reign, I never had anybody less than 3 or 4 people against me at one time. And I take pride in knowing that not only did I defend the belt successfully, I defended the belt in other companies that wasn't IWA that could put the belt on the map. But I also took pride in help establish the next guys that who were in line if they were to beat me for that belt. Unfortunately, and around that time, there was a guy better than me at the time, and he beat me for that belt. And when I lost that belt, I took a pride of knowing I did all I could with it. And now it's somebody else's turn. And it's like paying it forward. Like, okay, I did what I had to do. It's your turn. That's how I like to see pro wrestling. It's like I did my thing. Now it's your turn.
Now, what I witnessed in person at the in the Nuthouse event was that you are a true heel. You're not looking for cool heat. You're not trying to be the cool heel. You're a true heel. Like, I had a couple people that was in front of me. You know, they was getting on you about your hair. Oh yeah, pretty boy. You gotta cut your hair.
Oh, so you were hearing what I was telling that guy. Remember, he was trying to get at me. I think you heard. Yeah. I do this for a living, ladies and gentlemen. I do this for a profession. If you're gonna talk crap to me, you better bring your best rounds because I'm going for the jugular. That's all I gotta say. That guy shut up. He paid his ticket, went in my pocket, and he seen me win the heavyweight title.
So I consider, and I'm quite sure you consider, and many others consider you the #1 heel in IWA, if not the #1 man overall in IWA. Now, Now there was an angle, a show-long angle that culminated in your match. We had the Ministry add themselves to a tag team title match, made it a triple threat.
Ministry. Yep.
And they came away with the championships. And then they imparted their way into your match. Now, at the end of that match, we saw, I guess, maybe the unbelievable happen, in which the owner actually turned against his champion and formed La Corporacion. Now, the question is, where did that idea start? And matter of fact, where did that idea start?
Well, since we're putting over La Corporacion, everybody got to go out and they got to get the hottest t-shirt of the hottest new forming group that's taking back control of IWA, La Corporacion. How it all started? It's been started since the jump, since I got in IWA. Let's go down memory lane. When I first got into IWA, I would always be on the phone with somebody. Who do you all think that person was? It wasn't a lawyer. I ain't got one of those. It wasn't an agent. I ain't got one of those. This seed has been planted in the ground, in the foundation of IWA when I first joined on the scene. But like a good story, you never reveal itself until the finishing product of when you see what the future can hold for its investments. But yes, you did see the Ministry Inc. Remember, at one time in 2025, I took the Ministry Inc. away from Tahir James. And I made it my own. And I told them I was going to get them what they wanted. But all of this was calculated with me, with El Jefe, and then we had the biggest scoop of all. You were there. You seen the reaction to people. They weren't too happy about it. They were shocked about it because you didn't see it coming. Everybody wondered what Ministry Inc.'s role was going to be in that tag match. It was part of the plan. I said it in my promo for the January 24th in the Nuthouse show. I said, not any match. I said January 24th, I make the final move. We started with the tag team match. We took their titles and we made them ours. Then the heavyweight championship match. I knew, remember Genesis 8, I let Corey Mack beat me in order to make this happen. And I told him, November 8th, I had nothing to win. I had everything to win and nothing to lose. January 24th, it was go time. And I wasn't walking away with that belt. But what everybody didn't see is El Jefe, the man who runs IWA, is no longer a pushover for people. Never was. He made you believe he was. He made you think he didn't have everything calculated. But you fans chose Corey. El Jefe knew who he needed to be the face of the company to make things go according to his plan. And now we have La Corporacion, and we are taking back control of IWA.
Now, being the fact you're taking control and you're currently in control,
Mm-hmm.
what are your plans going forward with this power faction? Now you have a rematch coming up on February 22nd at the Nuthouse against previously mentioned Corey Mack.
Yes, sir.
Now, assuming
the champ is here,
assuming that you come out victorious, because I
will become victorious. Mike Steph, come on now.
Listen, I have to let you say that. I can't say that. I could think it, but I can't say it. But assuming you come out victorious, who do you believe would be next up? That's on is the next worthy challenger currently on that roster? And if so, who?
Well, you know me, Mike Steph. You know I'm the type of guy that I never show my hand. I never have, I never will. But you know something? I'm not worried about who's next after Corey. What I'm focused on right now is February 22nd. When we're back in the Nuthouse, Lady Wolfpack presents IWA Showcase match. And it's me and Corey Mack for the rematch. He was so quick to get his rematch clause in there, bro. I tell you, I couldn't even put this belt over my shoulder without being faxed the information from El Jefe that he wanted. But like I say, I always leave everybody guessing and wondering what's next, right? You're going to have to tune in February 22nd and find out, because La Corporacion's going to be there. We're going to take control. We're going to keep the gold. And maybe, just maybe, it's not about what's next. Maybe who's next. And La Corporacion. Only you got to be there to find out.
You just asked. I mean, you just answered part of my question, and you actually led into my next question.
What does Roddy Piper say? Just when they think they have all the questions,
I change the
questions. Yep.
I love that saying. Now, do you consider yourself in this foursome right now the crown jewel? Will we see some 6-man tags with you and the tag champs against whatever challenges of well, actually, since y'all run things, whatever challenges of your choosing? And how does the actual owner, El Jefe, how does he fit into this power faction, in your opinion?
He fits like a glove. You know what I'm saying? He owns the company. He makes the moves. He says what he wants, and he makes sure it happens. He found the one guy, the right guy, that would do anything and everything to make sure it goes to plan. I'm the lieutenant of La Corporacion. El Jefe is in charge. So I take more orders from him. I'm in second in line. You got the returning Tahir James, which everybody didn't see that one coming. the guy who is my once biggest rival of 2025. And I told the world, I went through the depths of hell facing Tahir James. We beat the crap out of each other all of 2025, and it made us stronger. So why not? If you could go to war against them, how dominant can you be going to war with them? And then you got Mikey G. Like I stated before, the kid has so much potential to be a diamond in the rough, to be one of the best in the future in IWA. And only through me, through El Jefe, through Tahir James can Mikey G get there. We'll show him not any of those worms of guys who want to say, I'm your friend, Mikey G. I'm your friend. Friends don't get you anywhere except stabbed in the back, Mike Steph. So you'll never know what we'll do. We could be in 3 6-man tags. We'll always have each other's back because we're all here for the same goal. And that is keeping El Jefe in power.
Now that sounds like a good plan.
Sure
Now,
does.
I do have I noticed on the upcoming event, like you said, for the Lady Wolfpack on February 22nd, that there's a tournament going on for a new championship. And qualifying matches for the Caribbean IWA Championship. Now, give me a little backstory on how did this come to pass, because I wasn't, I'm not familiar with the Caribbean Championship idea.
Yeah.
Please fill in the blanks for me.
Well, as you've seen at the last show, there was a unification match for the explosive and the intensity division. And now it's merged as one division. And at that show, you'll have the explosive champion tagging with the women's champion against their opponents. With this tournament for the Caribbean Championship, we need to bring freshness. Now, what a way to bring new life in the IWA is bringing in a new belt. So I know El Jefe told me, hey, let's see who's hungry. I'm going to dangle them like a little piece of steak. This new belt, let's see who wants it. So everybody's going to be in a nice little elimination tournament at the Lady Wolfpack show, February 22nd. And we're all going to see. We're all going to find out who's going to be the inaugural Caribbean champion. I think you're muted.
Thank you. Since you brought up the unification match that happened at the past event, now since I can see La Corporacion having visions of grandeur, do you have in the back of that sinister mind of yours a way for you to capture all the gold? And when I say all the gold, I'm talking about gold around your waist, gold over this shoulder, and gold over this shoulder. Be the Triple Crown champion. You be the Caribbean champion. You be the explosive champion, and then you'll be the heavyweight champion amongst yourself.
Well, I already am a Triple Crown champion. I've been the tag team champion. I've been the explosive champion. I am the heavyweight champion of the world. And am I going to be like so many others out there in the world that's going to be a belt collector? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Listen, as you saw in the Nuthouse, I don't mind splurging the Royals with everybody. I don't have to have every title. But La Corporacion can do what they need to do to surround the power. We're not focused on anything but taking out Corey Mack February 22nd, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Corey Mack, you won't be a 2-time champion, and you damn sure won't be and new, because myself, El Jefe, La Corporacion, we're aiming to take you out.
please, please, everyone.
And
I'm going
enough
to
of that
reiterate
your
this.
crap. I already said it the last show.
Yeah!
I'm sick of it.
Please, everyone. I'm going to reiterate this at the end of the show as well. But please, um, let me, as soon as I take this banner so you can see everything, please check out IWA, the next event at the Nuthouse, entitled Fighting for the Wolfpack, Nutley, New Jersey. Special start time of 2 p.m. Not on
Yeah.
a Saturday, but on a Sunday, which is actually great because yours truly can truly be there. Because guess what? That's the end of my vacation. So I will definitely be returning to the Nuthouse on February 22nd to see everybody in action, but more importantly, and specifically, to raise funds for the Lady Wolfpack softball team. That's what this event's about. Fundraising event, 150 Chestnut Street, Nutley, New Jersey. It's only about maybe about 20, 25 minutes away from the city. Hop, skip, and a jump. I got there, no problem. Hopefully, it'll be a little warmer this time. Not on the out on the outside, not on the inside, because the inside was red hot with action. Trust and believe. Please, please, please check it out, and we will talk
And
about.
I don't want to hear nobody say I got church. No. You got enough time to get there after church. You got enough time to go after you get something to eat, some breakfast, and you make sure you make yourself get all the way down to Nutley, New Jersey and see the hottest action. That intense wrestling action.
You heard that, man. Now, like I said, since I have you on this platform, I'll be remiss if I didn't get your thoughts on certain the current topics, the current events going
Yep.
on other entities such as I guess WWE. Now,
Yep.
one thing I'm actually going to change this around because you being the man that you are,
Yeah.
you would definitely be the person to ask about Roman Reigns's comments on the Pat McAfee show last week. For those who don't know, I'm actually going to play the clip, and I'm going to ask you for your response over it. Here's the clip.
I think, I mean, there's always a mindset of that, but to be completely honest and transparent here, 2 years ago, it all changed around. And what I've been doing out there hasn't exactly been the same of what I've done before. And the way I look at it is I'm a generous tribal chief. I give the people plenty of time. These young talent, they say we hog all the TV time. You know what I mean? They'll complain about one thing, and then I leave an opening. I give them plenty of space to create, whatever type of superstardom they want. Get over, kids. Yeah. Get over. You know what I mean? And we're 2 years here now. And we haven't advanced. We haven't evolved. You know what I mean? We have great leadership. And Nick Cotton, God bless him. What a businessman. He's a genius. But we have to be able to keep up with that creatively. And that's why people like me, people who are striving to be the very best, the greatest, the GOATs, the MJs, I just can't sit around and see mediocrity. Not when I set it up for everybody to just slam it home. I mean, we're on Netflix for crying out loud. You gotta capitalize. We got people over here playing around trying to figure it out. And I got the formula. I know how to cook it up. You know what I mean? So it's been a tough couple of years for me, but at the same time, when you come off such a hell of a run, you get the breaks for a second. I got 5 children at home. I wear, we all wear those 2 important hats, being a husband and a father. You got to be able to, click. And I've been on the road for a long time. So I needed to be able to pull back a little bit, but I'm fully capable. I'm only 40 years old. With all the tech and all the information we have now, I feel like I'm 25 years old. So I'm still good to go. You know what I mean?
Do
True
you
word.
agree?
True words.
Do you agree with Roman Reigns' assessment that creative has dropped the ball since he ended his reign, his almost 4-year reign as champion, and that nobody else has stepped up in WWE?
in that aspect is another guy that's looking outside, looking in. I wouldn't say nobody took the ball. Like taken as a heavyweight champion, what I had to do to become heavyweight champion, it's not that somebody doesn't want to take the ball and run with it. It's about what you're doing, like Roman said, instead of staying here, what are you doing to elevate it to go to bigger heights for yourself, character work, what you're doing to engage, what you're doing to make people want to believe in you, want to see more of you. There's plenty of guys in WWE that's, I feel, can step up or have stepped up or, you know, have that opportunity to do things. Do I think that it's going to be on a level of Tribal Chief? No, because just like La Corporacion, just like me, with the Roman and the Tribal Chief and all that stuff, it was all planted. It was a seed planted. It was all molded into one. It wasn't built overnight. You know what I'm saying? And it goes for anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's WWE, AEW, TNA, AAA, any indie show, East Coast, West Coast, Canada, anywhere. If you got guys that are asking promoters or asking their bosses, what do I need to do to get to that level? What do I need to do? Why are you asking? Just do it. Don't you think your boss would be like, yo, this dude is knocking him out the park. This dude's doing this one. That girl's doing that. She's doing that over there. She's getting a buzz. She's standing out. He or she is standing out. And without me asking for them to do it, they're taking it to their own hands, and they're going to let this soar. And let's see where this goes. You know, let's see where it goes. Now, as the top guy in IWA right now, being the heavyweight champion, I don't necessarily think you have to have a title, a championship anywhere to be a top guy. I feel like you can get yourself there, whether if you're first on the card, second on the card, before an admission, right after an admission, or the main event. It's all how you perceive. If you see yourself like me, Larry Anderson, I don't just see myself as Larry Anderson, the guy who's a wrestler. I see myself, Larry Anderson. I'm my own brand, if that makes sense. I'm like how Rockefeller, how Jordan, how Nike. The only way you're going to get people to see more of you and invest more in you is unless you keep adding to the product, adding more to your character, add more to make people want to see and invest more in you. And I tell that to a lot of people. You are your own brand. Don't expect the machine to make you that brand. Be the brand so the machine gets behind it and endorses the brand.
Now, him going on that platform, as closely aligned with that McAfee is with WWE.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the comments. I mean, that's only a clip out of, let's say, a 25-minute conversation, which they talked about. They broached a whole bunch of topics, but that was the one part that got all the talk going on, especially leading up to the Royal Rumble. Now, do you believe that his comments, especially those particular comments, that's what I'm focusing on. Do you believe that those comments were his true feelings, aka shoots? Was it more of a work, as in I'm in character, and that's going to bleed into what we're going to see on the upcoming shows, the road to WrestleMania? Because spoiler, Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, so he will be main event in WrestleMania.
That's right.
And also, do you think if those comments catch the power structure in place off guard?
I think they were his natural feelings. You can't go on shows like that and say it. Like, there's some guys who want to be in character. Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. And when ever since he's been tribal chief, he's been him. The real life mixed with the character. And I don't see there's nothing wrong with that. You need that. If you're talent, you need to be told from somebody who was on the up. Yo, I was here. I was like, hey, you guys complained I was on top. Here I am. Do something. Do something different. Like in IWA, one of the former heavyweight champions, TJ Marconi, he was the top guy. And he would tell, hey, I'm here. I'm the man. I'm the main event guy. I'm the heavyweight champion. Here I am. Who's going to step up? Who's going to step up? And this was before, I think it was before any, I didn't even vocally say it. I just in my mind said, I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to show the man in charge. I'm going to show TJ Marconi. I'm going to show everybody. Not in a like, oh, FUA, and like I want to be that guy that steps up. I want to be one of those guys that when you say IWA, you know it's Larry Anderson. You could be other guys there too, but you never forget that I'm a big focal point in what people come to see. And I use that as motivation. And I hope WWE guys use that as motivation. Shit. If I was there, if I was in WWE and Roman Reigns said that, I would be stepping up. I wouldn't even be waiting for him to tell me, step up, step up, step up. If I had the knowledge and the mentality and the drive and the hunger that I have now, that when I started training years ago, bro, things like this would have been happening years ago. I probably would have, who knows what would have happened, but I'm not going to take it for granted of saying it molded me into what I am today. I'm grateful for it. Patience is a virtue. I'm a firm believer of that. You don't have, it's not a race, it's a marathon. But in Roman's sense, yeah, he was gone. Yeah, he wasn't in the title picture. Step up. That's for the guys like who need to be like, it's not a jab at, I don't think it's a jab at Cody and those guys. I think it's to the guys like the Austin Theories. It's guys like that. Hey, don't take that as an insult. Take it as motivation. And I wouldn't even feel bad about it. Like, I would feel motivated by it. Get your ass in the gym. No days off. Get your ass in the gym. Focus. Be something. When you're out there in the ring, make sure your character is giving something to the audience so they come back and say, all right, I want to invest in this person. That's what everybody wants to do in pro wrestling. Make the people invest. So I don't think he was wrong. I think that was true feelings, and he has, and it's Roman Reigns. He has the right to say whatever the hell he wants.
You know, the funny thing about his comments, especially when he was talking about, shoot, I've been gone for 2 years, and the tribal chief has been very generous, and nobody's receiving. It takes me back to I want to say probably about almost 10 years ago, before he became the tribal chief, when he was still the big dog. And I remember the promo that he had with John Cena. Yeah. And this is right before John Cena really tamped down on the appearances. And they had that little rivalry. So it was like leading up to a pay-per-view, and John Cena pretty much dressed them down. It was like, the reason I'm still here is because you're not doing your job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Learn how to cut a promo. Like, he dressed him down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see how everything is 360, everything goes in rotation, how everything comes back around full circle. Now he's in that position that John Cena was in. Like, I've been on the top of the mountain all these years. And all right, I have other he didn't outwardly say it, but I have other interests, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's just being home with my family enough. And I'm giving y'all the opportunity. I want y'all to take the opportunity so I can say, you know what? I left it the best way. I left it up here. I'm gone for 2 years, and I come back, and it's still there. Yeah. So that's why I found very interesting about those comments. I'm like, now he's in the mindset of how John Cena was looking at him 10 years ago.
I how do I say this the right way? If you go back and do the homework, you say, oh, he did what Cena did to him. I don't think it's a more of you can't do your job. I think it's, I'm giving you the torch. I'm giving you the ball. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to fumble or are you going to score some touchdowns? I think that's what Roman's doing. Roman's not saying, okay, I want somebody to step up so I could leave. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think it's more of somebody fresh, somebody new, take the ball, run with it. So now we give the product new faces, new storylines, reasons to see these dream matchups, reasons to see more guys get established. Who are these new names? Why should we get around them? Why should guys like Roman Reigns even give them a time of day? That's how I feel it is. I don't think, and like, again, if you see it, if people like outside of the business see it as a knock or oh my God, he's, talk crap. No, man, that to me, that's motivation. To me, that's, get your ass in the lab, do what you got to do. If you think you're bring it 2 times harder. And I tell everybody that. I tell all the members of La Corporacion that. Don't get complacent. These look good with us, but they can easily be taken from us. Don't get complacent. Stay hungry. Stay on top of your game. Keep doing what you need to do to stay on top. And that's exactly what Roman Reigns probably told the guys in the locker room with that quote. Yo, give yourself a reason to be seen by them to be in a program with me. That's what Roman's saying. And I respect it.
Now, lastly on this subject, but it's connected. Also, he made a point to praise TKO Corporation. He made a point to specifically point out the genius that is Nick Khan. And he was talking creatively, but did not make mention of the chief creative officer himself.
Yeah.
Do you think, by chance, is this an indication that there's some type of friction between those two? I mean, I know. I'm like I said, I know I'm looking.
Yeah, who am I? who am I to say about anything about Triple H or Roman Reigns or anything like that? Who's like people say, who are you? But I see what you're saying. No, because Roman, if everybody watches podcasts, Roman said it on Stephanie's podcast perfectly. There was times where Paul came up with ideas, crumpled it up, whether it was Paul Triple H Levesque or whether it was Paul Heyman, ripped it up, crumpled it up, like, nah, I don't want to do that. I think this is where it needs to go. And that's the wrestling business. Certain things are home runs, certain things are foul balls. Not everything is, or I should say, certain things are hits, certain things are foul balls. Not everything's going to be a home run. It's a home run unless you got that ability to make it a home run. You know what I'm saying? So that's for the guy at the group home who don't like any baseball reference, who likes baseball references and not wrestling. I hear you, buddy. But guess what? Yeah, I'm on the podcast today, so you better watch because I just referenced baseball.
Oh my God, you're healing.
I'm healed 24/7. Yeah, but it happens. It happens. Ask any wrestler that's out there. Half of the times you're told it's a creative thing. You like it? No, but make it work. That's the difference. People are so quick to shoot ideas down. No, this sucks. No, look at the wrestling internet community. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. Listen, prime example. Don't shoot the messenger because I'm just telling the truth. Everybody was on the Jey Uso wave, right? Right? Oh, the yeet, all that stuff. Oh my God, it's great. Make Jey, when Jey was part of the bloodline, when he originally, before everything going off on his own, Jey needs to get the title. Jey needs to get the title. Jey needs to get the title. And then once the machine got behind Jey, you fans are not satisfied. Then it's, we got to take, oh, well, he shouldn't be champion. Oh. Look at that. Look at the press conference. Dude said, let me get a yeet. They yeeted for him. Oh, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. Boo. You guys are fickle. These fans are fickle. And that's why you say I'm a true heel. Yeah, I'm a true heel. I'm a true heel to the day I can't be a heel no more. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not giving you what you want. I'm doing what I need to do to win the match, to make you hate me. I don't care. I'm not there for you. I'm there to I'm there to show you what I can do, but I'm not there. If you want to see me do a top rope splash, I ain't doing a top rope splash. I'm going to give you what I tell you I'm going to give you. And that's what you're going to get, because we're telling the stories. You guys are investing in them. You guys are watching. That's why I say it's hard. It's not even WWE fans. It could be wrestling fans everywhere, AEW, everywhere. You guys, once you guys, they listen to you and you say, yo, let's push this person. Let's get behind this person. Then you guys get mad at that person. Then you don't want to cheer him. Then you want to boo him. Why? It makes no sense. So all that bitching everybody was doing, hey, I want you to look at this guy. This guy needs an opportunity. Oh, my God. They're wearing their glasses and at home, and they're saying, oh, this guy needs eating Cheetos. Oh, this guy needs opportunity. He needs opportunity. Yeah, and when he gets the opportunity, you guys are not happy, and you guys are not appreciating it, and you guys boo that person. Why? Makes no sense. You guys are never satisfied. But I don't think, but going back to the Roman thing, if it is a jab, hey, whatever, but it's like they say, just let the story unfold, man. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a foul ball, sometimes it's a home run. You got to be there to just be happy with the journey. Be happy with the story. Don't worry about spoilers. Just watch the story unfold.
I love that you ended it like that, because you just made my segue for me, which is great, because that's actually been one of my pet peeves lately.
Yeah.
About spoiling, knowing too much. I feel like, I think I went on a little rant last week, that the problem is that the whole point, there's a reason why wrestling originated from carnivals, right? It's all the reason why they always say the carny culture, right? The whole point of wrestling is to allow yourself to be conned, and that's not in a negative connotation. That's not negative.
At all.
It's
not at all.
To immerse yourself into the product, so you allow yourself to be surprised by the twists, the turns. Same way you look at a movie and you want to be surprised about the ending, or at the ending, like, you know what? It took me on a ride. Salute.
Yeah.
The way the movie ends, and you're like, oh, that was a crappy ending. That's literally what wrestling is. Now, Unreal, to me, matter of fact, I have a lot of thoughts on Unreal, but being the fact I have you on, I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts? What's your initial thoughts on Unreal? You've seen both seasons so far, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Floor is yours.
But I love that terminology, because I use it the best. I love how when people say, oh, that WWE stuff, that wrestling, that pro wrestling, oh, it's so fake. But you guys are the same guys that are going out spending $20 for a movie ticket, however, I don't know what they charge for a movie ticket, and you're going to go see Fast and Furious 22 or whatever number they're up to. You guys could go see all these other movies, right? You could see Jumanji, you could see whatever, Anaconda, you could see whatever the hell you want. And then all them guys really think that cars are flipping out there, and people are jumping from a car into a helicopter, holding on by one arm, and oh my God, I could do that. That's real. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go buy me a fancy car, and I'm going to go drag race. The same guys who are saying wrestling ain't real believe that Fast and Furious is real. You know what I'm saying? It's entertainment. It's sports entertainment. It's no denying it. Even in the Hogan era, they said it from along. Sports entertainment. It's the same guys that'll say, oh, God, I can't stand this. Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, God, I'm not watching it. Oh, I'm never watching this again. But they're right back to watch Monday Night Raw. They're right back to watch SmackDown. They're right back to see the next pay-per-view to see what happened. Yes, it's supposed to be a lot of people, like a lot of old school guys, protect the business. People protect it differently. You know what I'm saying? With the Unreal stuff, it's such a yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? It's such a double-edged sword, because you have people who are old school that say, oh, you're exposing the business. The internet been exposed the business way before Unreal did. Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be real here. You can't even sometimes sit down and see a SmackDown or something because somebody has to go and say, I already know what happened. It's taped. Okay, but why can't you just enjoy the moment? Why can't you just see how the story unfolds? With Unreal, it's a little different because I guess they have to have the cameras up on you. It's about the people's personalities. If they're trying to protect their characters, like how Undertaker did, I can understand why people are against it. If you're someone like CM Punk, who's like obviously a very private person, I could see how he don't like it. But it's hard because wrestlers, people today, they're all on TikTok. Well, I'm not on TikTok, but wrestlers and some wrestlers are. That's their thing. They like doing TikToks. They like doing things that keep them in social media. Everything's about social media with a lot of people in this generation. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a tablet, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter or X, whatever the hell they want to call it. Showing my age here, Mike Steph. I got to stop. Whether it's all these platforms, like I was saying, like TikTok, and they like doing them videos. Those are the type of people who aren't afraid of pulling back the curtain, of pulling back. This is who I am on a normal day. I could be funny. I could be fun. I don't always have to be that character. That's where it's a double-edged sword. That's where it's the yin and yang. Some people like Unreal. Some people don't. Me, I don't have a problem with it to a certain extent. Like, I love how, Roman ain't a part of it. Roman don't want to. Okay, great. I love how even in Unreal Season 1, they didn't give you everything behind the scenes of when Punk came back, and they didn't show, oh man, him and Seth Rollins shaking hands and, hey, buddy. They didn't do that. They made you believe. They kept it real. And to a point, because you never know where the story's going. And the whole object is, with sports entertainment, captivate the minds of people to want to see the story keep playing out and see where it goes. So to where that comes to a question, will Unreal destroy WWE? No, because they're not doing what wrestlers ain't doing backstage at these Raw tapings, at these SmackDown tapings, at these pay-per-view, PLEs now. Can't even say on pay-per-views, PLEs. They're backstage, they're doing their TikToks. They're backstage, they could be fighting with somebody and they could be in a makeup chair. They're backstage and you can see people still doing Make-A-Wish Foundation things. It's not about, you're not hurting yourself. It's just you have to balance it. If you balance it right, it could be a success. If you're a monster, if it's like back in the day and we had Unreal, but you've seen Kane without his mask on. And I can see how it's damaging it. I don't feel it's damaging it. So I don't feel it's damaging it. It's just gotta balance it out. That's how I would end that. Just balance it out.
See, maybe my problem with, like, I'm engrossed in it. I watch it.
Mm-hmm. That's what they want you to do, though. At the end of it, whether you like it or you don't, you're still tuning in.
Now, there's certain episodes that I actually really did get irritated.
Yeah,
not so much for the content, it's just the premise behind it. Like, I've discussed with my friends from GI Winchester McDowell, gimmick infringement, offline, about how it's hard for me to enjoy wrestling at this point in time because I know too much.
Yeah.
Not even so much I know too much behind the scenes, as in, supposed behind the scenes, dirt sheets, podcast, whatever. All right, that's one thing. My experience in watching wrestling, I can see stuff happen before it happened. Like, I can watch an episode of Raw in a match, and I'm like, okay, the run-in's about to come in. Okay, they're about to pull out the referee. Okay, there's about to be a blind. I can see everything happen before it happens, right? So that's part of it. But also, when I see Unreal, and they're giving me all the intricacies of it, as in the people in the gorilla position, contacting the referee, who's giving the sign to the wrestler. That part, I feel, that's the part they need to keep to themselves.
Yeah.
That's the part they need to keep to themselves. Like the episode in which they were upset that during the Money in the Bank that LA
we
Knight
didn't get up there and that,
but
you didn't need to air that.
Exactly. But at the same time, part of me is like, darn, did they say that on purpose? Because we've seen in previous episodes that the referee will contact the wrestler through the earphone of LA Knight. Yo, LA, it's time for you to get up. And they stood there and let him pretty much hang himself.
Yeah.
So, no, okay, I'm sorry.
No. I was listening. I was gonna say, I was just gonna wait for you to finish to go back to what you were saying about the Money in the Bank thing. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, to wrap it up, wrap myself up. That's the part of Unreal that I have a problem with, the intricacy of you showing what the illusion is supposed to be. Not so much, like you said, the character and the man or woman behind the character. Okay, fine. But we don't need to know that literally in match, they're not calling it in the ring, or they're not going based on what they have planned, that literally is being called behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that.
Yeah, because it kills your perspective of the illusion.
Yes.
The storytelling. I'm probably sure it wasn't like that back when, like, Shawn and Brett and Hogan and guys like that wrestled. Probably not. I mean, we got to understand it's a different company now. And I'm not saying that if I'm trying to save my ass one day to get signed by them or something. I'm not. I always tell my truth, whether people like it or not. That's who I am. Going back to that spot, to me, as also the fan, I also think that was a dig. That showing of the LA Knight thing was a dig at the internet community, saying, you want him pushed so bad. Look at what we had for him that he didn't capitalize on. This is why he's not getting pushed to the moon right now the way you want him. You're going to wait till when we want him to do what we want to do. Boom. Triple H said it. This was for you. Seth was winning, but this was for you. And that goes, and it's true, but it goes with a lot of pro wrestling, whether it's in the indies or in a main company. I've seen it firsthand where there's situations where I explained it to before. When I was Explosive Division champion, I'm the champion, but this is for you. This match is for you, to elevate you, to show the boss, hey, okay, I can see you as the next champion. I can see you as this. I can see you as that. All about, what do I say before? You are your own brand. How you drive it in and how you make the machine see you is exactly how you'll be. If you're a type of person when giving 110%, or if they want you to do a certain thing a certain way and you pulled an audible, hey, now your push is an audible. Now it's up to us when we want to give it to you. I don't know how that went down, but I just think that was a dig at the wrestling community, like the internet fans. Like, oh, LA Knight, you want LA Knight so bad? Okay, we gave him one idea. We gave him one job to do. We couldn't do it. Messed up. But that happens in pro wrestling. You can't always say, oh, he messed up. You fucked up. Remember, it's not as like how you see is like, oh, we're in there and practicing every move we're doing. We're not. It's or they say the botch stuff. I laugh at the botch stuff. I think Jericho said it one time. He's like, why did they say botch? Oh, I hate botch. The word botch. Blah blah. Hey, people are entitled to their opinions, but it's a lot harder to do it than how people see it get done on TV screens. I'll just leave it at that.
Now, you mentioning the dig at the internet fans with the LA Knight spot. Also, in a roundabout way, that to me that served to undermine LA Knight to the fan, to the eyes of the viewer, especially with the timing. Now, you can you can look at it two different ways. One, okay, this is planned to drop a week before the Royal Rumble, and just so happened that if you decided to indulge and watch,
Yeah.
then you get to see that wasn't on us.
Yeah.
But for them to write him off TV, supposedly for his triumphant return at the Royal Rumble, and then a week and a half before that, you put this out to the masses. When he comes back at the Royal Rumble, is anybody going to think like, okay, he has a chance? If he has a chance, why would you put him at his lowest moment for everybody to see behind the scenes? Because you're letting everybody know, all right, based on what's going on, the people in power, the decision makers are the kingmakers. And you made a point, the kingmaker made a point to put his lowest moment or a low moment for the public view. How is he supposed to come to the triumphant return with whatever heat that he was supposed to accumulate during his exit?
This is where it gets tricky, because I always, when it comes to situations like this, I always say, unless you're behind that curtain, you won't understand it. But I'll give you a little insight on it. On one hand, you got the good and bad, the pros and cons. One hand, like you just said, many people can see it as a punishment. Many people see, how can he come back from this? But wouldn't you want that? If you're an LA Knight fan, you just seen your guy mess up on a documentary series, what was supposed to be a big moment for him, he messed or whatever, he didn't do what they wanted him to do. That's the beauty of the art of storytelling. Of let's see where he can go from here now. Is he going to make that same mistake twice, or is he going to capitalize on it and make it worth his while? Is he going to rebound from it and make something better of it, to open their eyes again and say, okay, now I'm going to show you why I'm never going to give you a second chance to doubt me ever again. That's the thing. It's always the pros and cons. If you're in the business, you understand what it can do for you as motivation. If you're not in the business, you see it as your point of view of where it's, oh, this can damage him. Why are they doing this? Why? And to me, the answer would be, because we want to take you on the journey of the story of LA Knight. You guys seen us. And we're supposed to be taking the curtain back. You've seen him frustrated. You've seen where he messed up a moment that was crucial for him and being the big baby face that all the fans wanted him to be. Okay, now you got him in the Rumble. To me, and I've said this over and over again, if that Rumble was in the States, if that Rumble was anywhere else, the pop for him would have went out the roof. The pop for American Grande, that would have went. Yeah, El Grande. That would have, if it was in the States, if it was anywhere else where the fans are really vocal, that would have blew it out the roof. I was surprised with the Brie Bella pop. I was only surprised that the crowd got into it for her, but they didn't get into it for the guys. And knowing that their policies of how women and men are different in the culture. That was shocking to me. Same thing with Brie Bella. If she would have got, if that show was in the States with everything, Obafemi coming out first, the thing with Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar coming back. Anybody can say what they want about Brock Lesnar. That dude is money to the day you can't print it no more. That dude is money. Because all you have to do is hear his theme song. And the first thing that goes through your head is, shit's about to get real. It's about to get real. Roman comes out. Oh, Tribal Chiefs here means business. And I think from my eyes, I seen it as, okay, like Triple H said, oh, it's a dawning of a new era, all these new guys. Okay, good. We're showing you the future. But we're showing you why our main event guys are in the spots that they're in. They get the biggest reactions. They get the biggest pops. People know when, like I said, if they see Brock Lesnar coming on the screen, it's about to get real. Somebody's going to get beat up. Roman Reigns coming. Oh, main event time. Cody Rhodes, same thing. Okay, It means something. And it's not a bad thing. I don't want anybody ever to think, or, you know, aspiring wrestlers or anybody who sees this and sees this podcast, it's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing when your main event guys are still in that situation in rumbles like that, because now you're seeing what you need to be, where you need to get to, and where you need to elevate yourself. But I do feel that crowd was just it wasn't the right crowd, and I'm very nervous for Mania next year. I'm very nervous for Mania, and I just said it, and I just said I can understand if they would have said this is a WrestleMania showdown. Don't call it WrestleMania. Because if you think the people that spend their money to travel to all these manias, they're not going to be able to celebrate, or they're not going to be able to dress the way they want to dress, and they're not going to be able to, their beliefs and their parties or whatever don't fit how they do in Saudi Arabia. So, I think it's you're I wouldn't say the word I wanted to say. I'll say it in a more appropriate way. I'll just say you're taking away from the fans' experience of allowing them to express themselves the way they want by putting it in where they're going to have it next year, where they had the Rumble this past weekend. You're limited of what and how you can react to things and say, because the crowd just wasn't there for me at the Rumble. Like, I was just like, like, Rumble, SummerSlam, Mania, Survivor Series. Those are the keys where you're like, yep, I don't care what you got going on. I got to be in my seat. I got to watch it. I got to see what's up this year. Even if you don't watch all the other pay-per-views, those are your key cores. Those are your key pay-per-views. And you be there. And I just felt like the crowd just, like, it didn't do it for me. Not saying the product didn't, just the crowd. I think once they seen Sami Zayn lose the damn title match, they just didn't care anymore. Yeah.
Now, full transparency, this man has watched the Rumble. I have seen the Rumble in clips. I am still, I won't say protest, because protest is too strong a word, right? Yeah. Like, but I'm not even talking about the Saudi part. I'm not talking about the Saudi part. Like, I kind of just fell in line with that anyway. The migration from Peacock to ESPN.
Yeah,
I have not indulged in that. Right
nope.
Now,
I feel something's missing.
Now, the telltale sign for me, because it's a tradition. WrestleMania weekend, that will probably be the time that I at least get the app for 1 month so I can watch WrestleMania.
Get that free trial in,
yeah, even that, but I'll probably splurge, because I don't like commercials. None of my apps have commercials. I hate commercials. Yeah. But yeah, I've seen clips of the Rumble. Now I'm going to go down. Well, there's only been four matches. Yeah. So you mentioned the Sami Zayn loss to Drew McIntyre. Were you surprised? Well, you said you were surprised about the reaction after it. Were you surprised about the layout of the match? That
no,
Sami was the underdog and just pretty much I wouldn't say got squashed, but Drew was so dominant, or was it the fact of Drew being the fact that he's the new champion? This is his first defense. He needed to be strong.
Absolutely. I don't see it as everybody could see it as the underdog story, because Sami Zayn never been. When's the last time he challenged for that WWE title? That's when Roman was champ, and then Roman just quick squashed him, I think, on SmackDown or something like that, right? I think so. Maybe.
Oh no, they had a match.
No, at the No Way Out. Yeah, at the No Way Out. I think Elimination Chamber or something like that in Toronto. But even to then, but it's different compared to when Roman was champ, because they had story behind. You're the cause of the bloodline breaking up. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm fighting in front of my hometown, my family. You broke up my family. I'm going to beat you up in front of your family. It was a different to where you were like, damn, can this happen? this happen? I think with the dynamics of everybody just, as many times as Drew McIntyre didn't win the heavyweight title when he should have probably won. As many times he fought Cody Rhodes and he should have won prior to when he beat him in the 3 Stages of Hell match. You can instantly just feel like it. You knew Sammy was in that match because where they were at. It wasn't like, oh my God, because of worst case scenario, I would have, if you really would have dragged out the AJ Styles retirement tour, I would have had AJ try and fight for the title. I would have had a triple threat match between Cody and Jacob Fatu to say, okay, let's do this. But WWE ain't stupid either. They know how to calculate their audience and where they're going to be. Okay, let's get ticket sales. Sami Zayn's their guy. Cool. Did I think it was orchestrated right? Yeah, it told the story of, okay, you got hope to a possibility. But hope of a possibility doesn't outbeat this guy's dominant hunger and why he needed to be the champion. I think it was good. It's just, I just feel the fans bought into it a little too much, and they really thought, their hometown, their boy was going to win. And like I said, maybe it just did the downhill effect of the energy. Maybe the energy was just taken out of him by that point. But I wasn't a fan of the LED lights too, because the LED lights made it look like no fans were there. I don't know if there were fans there, a lot of fans there, or somebody was lying, but the LED lights, where you had to be like, I'm like, oh, there are people there. But the LED lights, I'm like, whoever did that, they probably lost a job or something. They ain't being brought back for another stadium build.
You have to realize that less is more.
Yeah.
But anything over there is so, everything has to be so gaudy and so outlandish that I think in that particular situation it backfired. Your thoughts on the AJ Gunther match and AJ's quote unquote short retirement tour? I don't believe so. I believe he already knew this was going to be his last. It was formulated like, listen, perfect bookend. I debuted at the Royal Rumble. I ended the Royal Rumble. 10 years to the day. Well, not 10 years to the day, but 10 years to the month. What's your thoughts about the match and AJ's retirement?
Going back to what you said before about, less is more. That's the beauty of it all. You don't have to give too much. You don't have to give everything to tell one story. Look how many stories, like, if you look at Lord of the Rings, if you look at Game of Thrones, if you look at all them things, do you think all them stories are told in one book? No. But going to the AJ thing, I agree with you. I agree. I won't try and sugarcoat it for people like, oh, he's trying to say it to be a humble guy of the business. No. I knew it right then and there. I was like, for his age, I understand. In the WWE aspect, maybe the travel, maybe the exposure, maybe the stuff. There's a lot of guys who could probably wrestle, even if they have contracts. Who knows if they want to wrestle people who are not at that big stage, who are no longer in that company. There's a lot of people on their hit list. Let me tell you something. There's wrestlers out there that have hit lists of who they want to wrestle. Oh, I want to wrestle this person. One time in my life, I want to wrestle this person. I want to wrestle that person. This is that. Do I think AJ Styles done? WWE, maybe he did all he did. Maybe he did all he could as the AJ Styles for WWE. He won a WWE title there. He won so many championships there. Granted, I would love to see him end in TNA without trying to do no merger with WWE. Just have that one, I won. I'm coming back to where it all started. Do I see him go to AEW? Maybe, but that's the beauty of suspense. You don't know unless it happens. Are there people he has the Young Bucks there? Maybe he wants to do a 6-man tag with. Maybe there's guys who want to wrestle there. Maybe he wants to wrestle a Kenny Omega. Maybe he wants to wrestle a Swerve Strickland or MJF or something that's AJ's choice. But me personally, I would love to see him end it where it started. I would love to see him end it in TNA, whether it's for the heavyweight title or not. I don't have to be X Division, heavyweight title. Because the last images we've seen of AJ in TNA was he was in the heavyweight title scene or something like that. End it the way you started. That's how I would do it with him. But I think it worked out good. I just hope they don't drag out the whole Gunther like they were doing with Cena too. Like when Gunther beat Cena, it's like, oh, I made him tap like a little bitch. Like that is so, to me, being a heel as like I am, that's so cheap heat. Oh my God. And I'm looking, I'm like, you were witness. I'm not trying to boast myself yet. Hey, I ain't not the cheap heat. I'm gonna make you hate me. I'm gonna give you something new. Every time, and that's my goal, every time I'm in IWA or anywhere else, upcoming in 2026, whatever, if the door's open, you don't get the same me twice. What you see that show is what you get that show. My philosophy is give them something to come back to see something more of. Don't get cheap heat. Don't be repetitive. To me, that Gunther tapping out like a little bitch, I think that's so cheap heat. And I'm just like, it's going to die out quick. It's going to die out quick. What are you going to do? Say, I made AJ Styles, like he said in the post show, I made AJ Styles pass out like a little bitch. Okay. What else you got? What else you got? Go back to if Hunter and them know the history of Gunther, and if people today don't know what he did in NXT UK, let him be a better in ring shape NXT UK version of Gunther. Let Gunther be Gunther. To me, I feel he's being forced to say, you tapped out like a little bitch. You tapped out like a little bitch. Stop being forced. Just be you. Be you. Add a little flavor to it, but just be you.
I personally feel that it's doing a disservice to the cachet that he supposedly have gotten by being Cena's last opponent and making him give up. And bringing that into the AJ feud, which AJ is pretty much taking a mantle, like, listen, you're disrespecting, Cena, blah, 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 blah. I just feel like if we would have had the build up to the Cena Gunther match, similar to the build up we actually had, because they actually did do a build up from AJ to Gunther to this point.
2 months.
And
I think a month and a half. Yeah.
And I give them credit for that. The Cena build really wasn't a build. He won the tournament. A week and a half later, and I'm not gonna rehash how I personally believe. I understand what Cena wanted to do. Like he wanted to really just say, there's no coming back. I'm giving all of this to Gunther. That's why I'm tapping out. That's why I'm going against my credo. Never give up. But for him to do it in the manner in which he did it,
the way he smiled, like if it was like Endgames or Avengers or something, like Tony Stark.
I see what he was trying to get to, but to me, that actually just really just messed up everything you was trying to give. Right?
Yeah, I would have rather him take the powerbomb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for AJ to have such a struggle and for him to not tap out, but to literally get knocked out, get put to sleep, and then for him to be revived and like, oh shoot, it's over. Like I didn't even know I was out. Chef's
beautiful,
kiss.
beautiful,
now,
beautiful storytelling.
When it goes to AJ, I'm not going to try to be on a conspiracy theory like, oh, the reason why he didn't leave his gloves in the ring is because he's going to do X, Y, Z. But I will say this:
it's noticeable. It's noticeable.
I will say this: if tonight on Raw, because he is quote unquote a Raw superstar, if tonight on
give
Raw,
him his flowers,
if they do not give him his flowers, as in, which go, just like matter of fact, just give him his flowers and induct him into the Hall of Fame this coming year, then to me, that's that's a red herring of, oh yeah, his,
He ain't done.
his contract is going out.
Yep.
He's leaving his WWE career. He's going, because if you're not going to give him his flowers, and he has, let's say, a handful of people that he's like, you know what, I want to wrap this up, but I want to get all these done.
Yeah.
But they're just not under contract.
Like Cena,
then
yep.
I'm going to tie my bow here. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to finish that, and then I'm done. I could see
and
that.
I think something else happened too. To a point, I think I read. I think it's someone on Instagram. Instagram popped up saying that he as his real name, he got the licenses to AJ Styles and Phenomenal and something like that.
Yep.
And like a lot of things, you can't believe everything you read, but it just goes to show you, yo, when you're done, you put hey, I'm not Cena. I'm done here. My chapter here is done. But me, AJ Styles, the Phenomenal One story didn't start in WWE. It didn't start in WWE. It's not good. It can end how they want it to do, but Phenomenal is going to end on my terms where I want to. I don't feel that he's done. I don't, because if they're smart, Cena should go in this year without a doubt. Cena should go in to say, okay, I'm fully done. I'm letting y'all know I'm just going to be in suit and tie. I'm done. I'm not, you'll never see me in jorts. You'll never see me in a hat. You'll never see me with an armband. You'll never see me nothing. Suit and tie, promote my movie, do what else I want to do in my life. Let him go in the Hall of Fame. That's when everybody say, okay, he's done. He's not joking. He's done. But people understand the body. Father Time don't ever lose. You know, in Cena's case, maybe there was something going on. His body was saying he was done. AJ Styles, the way he's looking, I don't think he could do the AJ Styles of TNA stuff he could do anymore. That was his bread and butter, and he said it. He can't do it like that no more. But I feel maybe if he has this like a maybe 6 months or till the end of 2026 type run elsewhere, it'll be good, because why wouldn't you want to see a different molded version of what you're used to seeing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just going back to showing, hey, yeah, WWE guys, fans are only used to seeing this type of AJ Styles. Wasn't my best AJ Styles. TNA fans seen my TNA stuff, but now I'm molding myself into something more. Maybe he might show up at New Japan. Maybe he might show up at AEW. Maybe he might show up at TNA. Only one person will know. That's AJ Styles. I'll be happy for it. I was always a big AJ Styles fan. I remember there was a time at House of Glory. I remember when I think I just started out, and he was in New Japan, and I think he was wrestling somebody that night. And Smiley said, "Larry, get in the ring." I was like, "All right." So we seen AJ there, you know. So I was like, "Oh shit, it's AJ Styles." I think I said on the podcast when he shook my hand, he's like, hey buddy, how you doing, buddy? And Smiley wanted to give me the Styles Clash in front of him. And he's like, "Hey, that's my move." You know, I'm like, "I'm here." You know, nice to meet you. Thank you. But that, you know, he just a big AJ Styles fan, So I'd love to see wherever he goes.
I have a couple. I want a couple of thoughts on certain things that happened in the men's rumble.
Okay.
That once again has been controversial. Now, Obafemi, right?
Yeah.
Obafemi, everybody expected him to be there. He was there. He was dominant for the majority of the time he was in.
Mm-hmm.
But the Clash of the Titans, Obafemi and Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
How do you feel about how? All right. Do you feel that there was do you feel like it was wrong in how Brock Lesnar interacted with Obafemi, as in maybe the over the top reactions to him? He doesn't really give over the top reactions to much people, but for some reason there's a pattern. Because I remember, you know what it reminded me of?
Keith Lee.
Yes, Keith Lee. Oh, big man.
And he said it. He's
Oh.
like, he looked at Paul Heyman and said, he's a big mother effer. He's a big
Yeah.
boy.
But the key with that was he didn't eliminate Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre ended up eliminating Keith Lee in that one.
Yep.
For him to do that and for them to bring Obafemi to the main roster, and we can kind of tell that that's probably the direction they're going for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Do you believe it was the right decision to have Brock Lesnar eliminate Obafemi instead of vice versa?
Absolutely. Because at the end of it, you've seen Lesnar's a businessman. And who'd he learn the business from? Besides the wrestlers, Paul Heyman. He knows, and Vince McMahon. So it's not like he said, yo, if and this is where people got to understand there's two sides of the coin. There's the fan's point of view where you never step foot in a wrestling ring, or the wrestler that's still a fan that's been in the wrestling ring and still watches WWE. It's the perfect way to build a program for Obafemi. They had him vacate that belt. Didn't lose his second after that second title run. Didn't make him lose it. He left NXT. Here's your belt. Hyping him up on Raws as this big next badass boy coming to town. I love that. It's not like how it was. Who was it? That one guy that says coming next week, coming soon, coming soon. It was somebody, I forgot who it was, and they kept doing it, and it ended up being a bust. It's smart. You have King Kong, Godzilla. You have the two Titans. And Brock Lesnar won't like this to him because Obafemi was ready to touch. Brock's like, don't. Money. The payoff is what you want to see at a Mania, at a bigger stage, with a bigger crowd, with a more hyper crowd. Brock Lesnar ain't going to waste that momentum for nothing. And that, for people, when people say Brock is selfish, Brock don't do business, Brock don't do it. He did it for Keith Lee when he didn't have to. He put Keith Lee over. He put AJ Styles over. He put all these guys over Brock Lesnar. Even though he beat them, even though he did whatever to him, he put them over. What did he do at the Rumble for Obafemi? He put Obafemi over as being a serious threat. Take that in consideration. Obafemi was eliminating everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay, big boy. Brock Lesnar eliminated Obafemi for one reason: inexperience on the main roster. So if you look at it, I got rid of this one. I got rid of that one. Oh, okay. Now you going against the big dogs. Brock Lesnar eliminated you. It's smart because now Obafemi has something to fight for, to go. If that is the plan, if it's him and Lesnar, or if it's him and anybody, my inexperience costs me to win the Royal Rumble against somebody who won it before and who's experienced. You only grow from that. You get better from it. So I think that was beautiful. They showcased what they wanted. Powerful dude, ready to dominate. Got eliminated by a powerful dude who's continuing to dominate, no matter who's coming in the scene. And that, just wait for the end story. That's what I would say. If they're smart, they are smart, but the end story is always the best story.
Now, what you just said makes sense, and I admit, I'm like, you know what? Okay, I could definitely see that point of view. Yeah. Which actually answered a question that I was going to ask, because I was going to be like, well, so does that explain why he literally no-sold Dragunov? And just said, it's because the way you just explained it, the way you laid everything out, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it wasn't quote unquote intact from a fan point of view, but if your main goal is to set this over pretty much the Clash of the Titans, no matter how aggressive and how intense Dragunov is, you can't really show but so much weakness to Dragunov if you're keeping yourself strong for over. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate the way you went and broke that down. Could you just answer my question?
Because it's also a look at, okay, Dragunov, you're a badass. You're a badass in the U.S. title picture. Great. In Lesnar's mind, you're a puppy in a pit bull and in a Rottweiler's, territory. Your chops can hurt other guys. Yeah. Chops hurt, ladies and gentlemen. Chops hurt. Don't think they don't. You seen it. Remember that fan asked me to chop him? Were you there? Were you there during the intermission when the fan said chop me?
I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, you okay?
I said, chin up because it's gonna hurt. Boom. But that's just showing Dragunov, okay, you can in your division, you're not at that level for Brock Lesnar. Remember, Brock Brock Lesnar's his own brand, ladies and gentlemen. So Brock Lesnar got to protect that brand. So yeah, he's gonna know so Dragunov. That's like saying Brock Lesnar's what, 6'4", 300. Dragunov's like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", and like what, barely 200 pounds. End game. If I was in there with Brock Lesnar, I would have shot, grab me. I'm already seeing my way out. It's the belly of the beast. Yes, it's entertainment, but God, guys, come on. In a real life fight, who's kicking Brock Lesnar's ass? Come on, you got to be very special to get that done.
Now, to end our conversation on the Royal Rumble and start bringing us home, I would be remiss if I do not mention about the women's, not so much the women's Royal Rumble. Liv Morgan won.
Yeah.
Now tonight on Raw, on Monday on Raw, because this will probably drop right after Raw.
Okay.
You have the women's world champion Stephanie Vaquer defending against Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know where Rachel came from. I don't know. It's just on my mind. But yeah, Raquel Rodriguez. What are your thoughts about Stephanie Vaquer's title run so far? Has it been lackluster in your view? And it's a combination. And going forward to WrestleMania, the better story, not the better match, but the better story. Would it be?
I think we did this last time, and I was correct. And then you were like, you hit me up, and you're like, "How'd you know? How'd you notice it?" Yeah. So I got you. I got you on this one. Okay. So no, go ahead. Were you done?
Oh yeah, it would be either the better story going into WrestleMania would be Liv and Raquel or Liv and Stephanie.
Neither. Remember how I said this last time? See how you sat up? Neither. I would do it to where you pinpoint. Now, hear me out. I'll answer first part with Stephanie Vaquer. I feel it's very protected. Her title reign. It's protected. And it could be it can be a shot in the foot and she bleeds out, or it can add depth to her story. If she's protected too much, the wins the way she's winning, or interferences after interferences, blah, 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 you're not giving her the keys to the car. You're not giving her the keys to the mansion. We know that's Rhea's as the top baby face. Whenever Bianca comes back, I hope we talked about this last time with Rhea and Bianca. You know what I'm saying? And then they threw Io in there. I wasn't expecting that. But I feel the champion should always have the keys to the car, key to the mansion as the full driving force, because the fans see them as the champion. Not necessarily, like I said before, not everybody. You don't need the belt to be the man. You don't need the belt. That's how you handle the situation. With Stephanie's thing, I just want her to win matches clean. I want to be no interference on either side to keep her staying like, okay, she's a badass champion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's either the Judgment Day interfering, or it was Nikki Bella, or it was this one and that one, or it ended in a DQ. It's being as a the title defense. Now going to your second thing, like if they're going to protect her, I want her to finally snap and say, nah, I'm going to show you what got me signed here. Well, the minute WWE fans see the heel side of this girl, y'all ain't going to see the babyface side of her for a long time. And that's my personal opinion. Now going to what's better, Liv versus Raquel, or no, Liv versus Stephanie, or Raquel versus Raquel, whatever.
Yeah,
Neither.
Liv versus Raquel or Liv versus Stephanie?
I would say this, and this is my prediction. I was 1 for 1 that one time we were on here. I feel now that Liv's going to win the title, Raquel probably gets another shot. She loses that opportunity because probably Liv's interferes or somebody interferes, right? Or even it can happen today on Raw tonight, where you start seeing the tension. And then it comes to a point where either at Mania, it's either Stephanie versus Liv, and Raquel screws Liv, and it breaks up the Judgment Day, and it sets Finn and Raquel on one side, or maybe Dom and Raquel on one side, and Liv and Finn Balor on one side. So remember, Dirty Dom's gonna make his comeback. I feel it. They need him. They need him to keep that group hot. But I feel what a big twist it would be is, hey, girl, okay, it's your turn. And at the end, on the grandest stage, she won the Royal Rumble to finally main event her shot at the women's title, and she gets taken from her the way she took it from Rhea. What a story that would be. Now you got story from Mania all the way to SummerSlam. You give Stephanie somebody else to mess with, maybe a returning Bianca, maybe somebody else. You just give somebody else, it don't always have to be, if you could make a good story out of anything, but I would love to see either a triple threat between Raquel, Liv, and Stephanie to where it could do damage to the Judgment Day, or it could do damage to their friendship. Who really wants it? I think that would be a more interesting story than just do a one-on-one, because there's too much story there. There's too much story to not present itself.
No, I see that. The only thing I personally feel that if they break up, which is coming,
Mm-hmm.
Raquel needs to stay heel.
Absolutely.
Better heel.
Absolutely. She can't. There's just certain people who just can't be heel. The baby faces,
she's been I remember her dominance in NXT was as a heel. Mm-hmm. When she came up to the main roster as a face, she floundered. When she turned heel, that's when she's been boasted. Liv has such support from the fan base that her heat is transitioned. She can be face or heel, and she can still keep that edge and still be on the face side. Yep. Raquel needs to be the heel. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. So I remember Raquel. Nobody knows it. I think Kevin Nash said it on his podcast. And she asked advice, and and this is where people can shit on Nash. Not me. I'll never say one bad word about Kevin Nash. The man is smart. The man knows what he's doing. The man learned from so many greats. And to have a great mind in business and be how he was in this business and remembered as business, people need to take advice like that. She asked him, she said, what do I need to do? Be you. You're the tallest, the biggest woman on this roster. Capitalize on it. Flaunt it. Flaunt how big you are. Be the big sexy. That's why I think he blessed her, calling her big sexy. Like, that came from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That came from somewhere. It's not, you're just not just gonna, take advice, bro. Like, take advice. Take advice. I remember Dan Moff, a wrestler, independent wrestler, gave me advice when I was at Wars Wrestling for showcase show for IWA. And he's like, I love their heel shit. Change it up. And everything he said, change up. I changed up. Like, because you got to listen. Sometimes when you listen, it's for the best advice. And he told me things to change up on, and I listened to it, and it was it added a good depth to my stuff that I'm doing now. So I appreciate that. I always appreciate advice. Sometimes advice isn't bad advice. It isn't.
Advice, listening to advice has gotten this man to be the Triple Crown champion in IWA, the current and new IWA heavyweight champion, Larry Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Now, as we bring this to a close, I am going to give the floor to you for whatever you would like to talk about. Anything that's, well, especially the event that is upcoming. But the floor is totally yours, my man. Take it away.
First off, I want to thank Mike, Steph, and the Salty Thoughts podcast for having me on yet again. Not one, not two, but 3 times, like that Fabulous song when it's drop bombs and it's back to back to back to back on my BS. I'm back on my BS. I'm back on top. I'm back with some gold like I told you I would, ladies and gentlemen. But it don't stop here. All the action is going to be intense wrestling action in Nutley, New Jersey. The shows will be upcoming. They will be posted not only here, but you can check out IWA Intense Wrestling Action on our Instagram, on our Facebooks. We're also on YouTube. Check us out. We're going strong. We bring the intensity, and it's only going to get better. And maybe, well, not a maybe, it's a guarantee I'll be back with this on. But I want to do the 4 Horsemen. I'm ready to come back for the 4th time. 4th time. But once again, thank you for having me. And if I can, because I know I'm supposed to give out my Super Bowl pick, so I'll do my promo here. This is Larry Anderson, your IWA Heavyweight Champion. Check us out, like I said, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. And I'm picking the New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl. They're a dynasty. I'm sorry, Mike, Steph. I got to heal it up. I can't go with what everybody else wants me to go with. I'm picking New England Patriots. And you tell my boy Mo next time I want to see him on here, or I got to get there on that sports podcast and I got to show him how it's done, how I used to do it on the football fields before I was in the wrestling ring. But thank you again for having me, everybody. Don't forget to check out IWA Intense Wrestling Action, Nutley, New Jersey. Mike, Steph, it's been a pleasure, my brother. Can't wait to do it again.
Same here. I truly appreciate your time. I truly appreciate your patronage. I truly appreciate your support. And I swear, if you wasn't such a solid brother, I would cut you off right now. Because I get the Patriots. But matter of fact, are you a Patriots fan?
No. No, I just don't want to see the Eagles win. The Seahawks, sorry, Seahawks. I did a Hogan, Silverdome, Superdome, Eagles, Seahawks. No, I don't want to see the Seahawks win. Love you, Hulk. R.I.P.
What do you have against the Seahawks?
Nothing. They're in the. They're just in what? They're in the NFC. Okay. I'm a Packers fan. Fan. But this is where it sucks. It's like pro wrestling. You just can't have one. You just can't have one. I was a Packers fan growing up as a kid. Then I started liking the Detroit Lions lately since Dan Campbell. I think we talked about it on our podcast. On the podcast when I said Dan Campbell's the man. I just more like it's like wrestling to me. I love the grit and grind of what Seahawks doing, but I know they're not gonna win. They made too many turnovers the last game, too many mistakes against the Rams. I got to go with the Patriots. I got to go with everybody. You know me, I got to heal it up. I got to end this on a heel note. Everybody must love the underdog and the Seahawks, but I'm going to heal it up, and I'm going to go with the dynasty that is the New England Patriots.
You know, you just opened the door to so many questions that, we definitely do have to have you on HGF because
yes, sir.
I swear, this is the first curse I'm actually going to say. And hell, it's not really a curse. But how in the hell did you grow up a Packers fan and then you start rooting for the Lions? Those are two sworn enemies.
Yay. Paul Heyman's the only guy, ain't the only guy who got to switch up teams and go heel on people. I got to do what I got to do.
What?
Mo will tell you. When we played football, I had my Clay Matthews jersey, bro. Packers 52. I was a big Clay Matthews fan. Yep. Clay Matthews was my guy. And Crushing too from the Texans. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
If you see how they played, then that's how I used to play.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You was on your Romanowski?
Nah, I wasn't that brutal. There was other guys that played with us that was on Romanowski time, but I was more. I think there was one game where Mo got so mad at me that I kept sacking him. He just like, I'm done.
I never knew that he was a quarterback. I always we used to play. I was like,
we used to play two rough hand on field. Yeah.
Oh my
god. We did it. We did one. We used to play. He knows the score. I think PS 192 or something like that. We used to play in the backyard there. We used to play rough there. And we took it to the fields. And we took it to the fields and we started playing there.
I swear.
This was years before wrestling.
No, I remember on Saturday afternoons, y'all used to go.
Yep.
He invited me a couple times, right? So we would have met each other like 12, 13 years ago.
Yep.
I think one of the times that he invited me that I really was going to go, I think I sprained my knee and I couldn't go. But every time he's like, yeah, he would give me the invite. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Then I wake up, I'm like, dog, do I feel like doing it before work? Dog, nah. I was a receiver. I had hands of gold. You know.
I thought I was gonna play one. I thought I was gonna play one position, and the other quarterback, our boy Rob, he was like, he used to come get me. He's like, the only way I know you're gonna show up is I come get you. So he used to come get me. We used to go together, and then I would play tight end, and then I would play linebacker. Yep.
Okay. See, I was wide receiver, cornerback. Stay on the outside. Not trying to get in the trenches.
There's one story. I remember we played rough two-hand. I forgot where we were. And we were playing rough two-hand. These kids, we didn't know them. So they would stack in their mouth. They would jaw jacking. So I'm like, all right. And he's like, yo, I'm going to catch it over you, 52. I was wearing my Clay Matthews. I said, all right. So I guarantee you don't. So I would just wink. That's that. Watch this. I hit the kid so hard in the air with my hands. Like I hit him full foot. The kid fell and he shit himself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That's a game over. Game over. Yeah.
Shoot. And just like he said, game over. This will bring us to the end of another edition of the Salty Daughter Mike Steph podcast.
Free time.
Thank each and every one of y'all for making me the podcast y'all choose to view and the podcast y'all choose to listen to. Once again, please check out Mr. Larry. And yes, I know that's not his stick, but the IWA Heavyweight Champion will appear once again. Please check him out on his social medias. Please check out IWA Intense Wrestling Action. Please check out the Salty Daughter Mike Steph, because all the information that y'all need, if y'all don't get it from him, y'all don't get it from the IWA, guess what? You can get it here. This is going to be the place to be for all IWA information. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Please check out HGF. We're coming through with the Super Bowl primer that's out now. Super Bowl preview that'll be out Friday, Saturday. Please check out Gimmick Infringement, Winchester McDowell. Please check out Hip to the Games, aka the Mid Post, hosted by the young OG himself, Desmond Powell. And please check out Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn on the sports show. Don't blame me. I'm blanking right now, but check them out live each and every Tuesday night at 7 on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel. With all that being said, I'm getting out of here. You got any last words?
Absolutely. You heard him. Keep repping the champ. It's been an honor, a pleasure. I'll see you again next time.
Definitely. Goodbye.